As you can see, this is a lyre made out of a cigar box. I made it actually in about 4.5 hours this weekend. I had some help from my dad. Thank you, Dad. Shout out there. The main box is what appears to be a cedro cigar box. This is from the Hoyo de Monterrey de Jose Guiner Excalibur commemoration box. Maduro cigars from Spanish Honduras. So thank you, Honduras, for the box. All the parts in this are found parts, in that we didn't buy anything for it. We just happened to have it around the house. I technically bought this, except I just got it for free when I was at a beer and wine store near here that sells cigars. I managed to get this for free from them. I asked, hey, do you have cigar boxes? They said sure, so I got it. I guess the yoke here, the big piece that goes around the outside that the strings are attached to and is bolted to the sides of the box, is just made out of 3/4 inch plywood that was actually left over from a flooring job when our bathroom was being redone earlier this year. Actually, it was last year. It was last summer / fall when it was being done. The tuning pegs are actually made out of just wood screws that we drilled holes through, filed the edges down a little bit to make them sort of flat, and then drilled a hole in. The bridge is just made out of a piece of, I guess it's floor molding. As you can see, it's naturally curved. Just cut some grooves in the top to hold the strings, and gave it some little feet by taking a drill and just drilling some holes through the original piece and then cutting it. And then the tailpiece is just made out of a piece of plywood. I think it might be birch ply. Hard to say. And the end button was just a fixture that we had lying around in one of the miscellaneous sort of screws and fittings boxes. The yoke is actually made out of waxed cotton string that holds that on. And all the strings on here, it's missing one. We didn't have a full set. Are an old set of strings taken off my dad's guitar, nylon strung. The D string broke. He put new strings on, just kept the old ones in case, and they're on here. It's got pretty good sound. Buzzing a little bit. I need to play around with that, but it might be the fact that there's a string down here that's touching. Maybe I just stick that back through, will it? Nope, still buzzes. It's having some issue keeping intonation at the moment, but then these are old strings, so they're gonna stretch out a lot anyhow, I think. Especially because they're tuned to tuning that they're not meant to be tuned to usually. This stuff's pretty durable. It's not warping with the string tension. I would have thought that would have happened, but then this is kind of low tension. I sort of have a made-up tuning on here right now. I intend to put on an actual set, if you will, tuned to a G scale, so that I can actually play things in the key of G, which is a key I can sing in. But right now, this sort of 5-stringed, 6-string lyre is tuned to G, D, or something in the neighborhood of G, G, C, D. It sounds pretty good, I think. So you can sit there and you can sing and go. Let's see. I was trying to do a little bit of Greek here, but this is not going to work out so well. I'm thinking something like something like that, you know. So the intent is to try to do some epic poetry with this. If anything, it's a pretty looking prop that can make some noise if necessary. But anyway, I had a lot of fun working on this. It's not that hard to make your own. There are instructions online for building actual sort of medieval Anglo-Saxon type lyres like this. Unfortunately, there's nothing on how to build a barbiton or the other Greek lyre types. I wish I could find some detailed instructions. There's actually one. I'm lying. There's one guy who built one using a gourd instead of a tortoise shell, because obviously killing a tortoise is kind of against the law for this sort of thing. I guess if you found a dead one on the side of the road, you could do it. But there's a lot of medieval type lyre instructions out there. A lot of people make these for like upwards of £1,000. There's a guy in Britain who makes really nice replicas of the Sutton Hoo lyre and the Trossingen lyre, which is this is sort of based on the Sutton Hoo. design. This was made for technically nothing. And it doesn't sound too bad in my opinion. So if you want to have some fun and try your hand at making a kind of medieval instrument, you know, it's pretty easy. All you need is a jigsaw, or barring that, if you have like a coping saw that can handle cutting through this kind of thing, a bandsaw, even better. Some wood glue, some screws, and a drill, or a drill press if you're fancy, and maybe a handsaw to cut the you know, the grooves. You can make something like this and have fun just tooling with it. So yes, this is my Cigar-box Lyre, made this year, actually made day before yesterday in about 4.5 hours. It's pretty fun. Hope you enjoyed it.